for Matt himself to tell us about. He braved the waters.
Yep.
He basically he was in Jaws. He saw Bruce the shark and thought, you know what? I think I can outswim him to the shore. So he jumped off the boat and made a quick beeline for it. And I have a funny feeling that he got mauled violently along the
Hmm.
way. So this is Catwoman Election Night issue 1, so it's an election tie-in. uh, Written by Meredith Finch and Mark Russell, and art by Ben Caldwell and Mark Morales. So, Matt, tell us, what is Election Night issue 1 about?
Well, I will say, I'll lead with the positives. The art looked good.
Alright, okay, cool.
Yeah, so that was fine. But so the election special is all about Selena trying to save the house that she grew up in, Miss Kitty's, which there's no subtlety. This book is, or the story of this book looked at subtlety and went, "What's that?" And everything is so over the top and ham-fisted. One of the, I guess, foster homes or orphanages she grew up in was Miss Kitty's home for lost girls
I
or
get
whatever.
I get the feeling this is kind of out of continuity. This book is just kind of on
It,
its own.
yeah, as
Yeah,
well it should be.
yeah.
And
Don't murk the waters with this.
and so she grew up there, and it starts with a flashback of these girls that are basically they're bullying her, and by bullying her, they are trying to cut her cheek with a box cutter.
So it's straight up assault. It's not bullying.
No, and so they're making fun of her because her only friends are the cats that live there, because she's of course Selena Kyle,
Nothing wrong with that.
and yeah, and
I
so
say that as
they
someone
corner.
with 3 cats
Yeah, I can't. I have no room to talk. I have three dogs, so
and a cat.
Yeah, well, and the cat, but me and the cat aren't close like me and the dogs are. So, I have two of them in this room with me right now. Anyways, uh, where was I? So they corner her in the basement and threaten to cut her, and then Miss Kitty comes down, and then it goes to the present day where Oswald Cobblepot is running for mayor, even though everybody knows he's the Penguin, and has fought Batman many a times and has ended up in Arkham Asylum. He's still running for mayor, and he's running against this redheaded lady who bears an uncanny resemblance to the redheaded girl that threatened Selena when she was a kid. And they're both fighting over this house that Selena grew up in, and she still watches out for Miss Kitty. And come to find out that Cobblepot is a Trump stand-in. The way he is written is basically they stole from Trump speeches,
All right.
and he's going to build a wall, and it's going to be a great wall, and this wall is going to save Gotham because it's a great wall. The other lady seems more. And I can't remember her name because this book's not that memorable. But basically, she seems like the better option until Selena starts doing some digging and finds out it was this girl that the other girl that was going to be adopted wound up missing, which happened a lot at Miss Kitty's because it was, runaway girls. And why does she want to find this house? Well, it comes to find out that this girl that's running for the mayor murdered the other girl and got adopted by the family that was going to adopt the other girl. So the evidence was still in this house 20 years later, 15 years later, however long it was. And of course, Selena finds it and exposes them. And there's not a great option for mayor of Gotham City.
Huh.
Um,
I'm curious.
yeah,
Was there a scene where Penguin gets caught on tape talking badly about something, and then later claims it's like
oh,
aqua, like ring talk or something?
no, he does though say like it's shown that his plan for the wall is just basically to drum up his own property. Like he wasn't actually going to build the wall; he was just going to buy up all of these houses in not Suicide Slum, the Narrows.
uh,
Suicide Slum's the Metropolis.
Yeah, do you know, I love the idea that Penguin's like running for mayor, and all his
Yeah,
speeches are like, "I will give you the cheapest fish in the
yeah.
country. Fish will be a premium thing here. It'll
Well,
be
that was Burton's. That was Burton's version, right? In
yeah."
Returns. So, but yeah, and then there's
Oh,
a
that's right.
backup.
That's right. He runs for mayor in Batman Returns.
Yeah,
Oh God, that's been so long since I watched that movie.
Yeah, and in Earth One, he is mayor. So like,
Jeez.
there's a streak of Cobblepot as the mayor.
Gotham, get your shit together, because seriously, this isn't flying.
Yeah, yeah. So that ends, and Selena saves the house, Miss Kitty's, and then there's a backup of Prez, which was a book about teenage president in the future, which is even less subtle about politics, and basically is like a guns right Second Amendment story that I'm not even going to touch on
All right, okay.
because again, there's a way to tell the story. And here they decided also add in reproductive rights with Second Amendment rights, and there's a birth control candy that people don't want their kids to have. Which, when you know what birth control is, you don't want it on candy shelves. Like, we're talking about hormones and whatnot. Like,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
stupid. That's
yeah, and I just
yeah.
I'm not even going to touch on it. And I know James, one of our friends, really loved the Prez book that came out with the DCU. I doubt he would be a fan of this because the writing on it was just so
I thought
ham-fisted.
you were going to say you loved this issue. I was like, what?
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I just, like, I can see, like, how Prez would have been, like, even a cool Vertigo book. And you could even do a little bit of, like, House of Cards, Teenage President, Darkness with the fun there. This just didn't have it, this backup. So,
Yeah.
I can't recommend the Catwoman election special. And for $5, I got fleeced. I feel like Selena did rob me. She picked my pocket.
Yeah, you got sucker punched.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's actually kind of funny that this is the first Catwoman thing. It's not technically a Rebirth book, but it's the first Catwoman thing of the Rebirth era, and it comes out the same week as she becomes a prominent thing in Batman and gets such good treatment there. You know, it's just kind of funny. But hey ho, that's Catwoman Election Night issue 1. Not recommended. In short. We timed that quite well though, with the election coming up.
Yeah, and I feel like in better hands. Like, I don't know if you had read this during the '08 election. DC did an election miniseries.
Nah.
Yeah, and that was really ham-fisted, but it was done by Judd Winnick, who understands social issues. So even though there was some ham-fisted stuff, like Lois declaring where she stands on the political spectrum super awkwardly, it was still like Superman not wanting to get involved because he's like, I'm kind of above politics.
Yeah, she stay out of it, yeah. I wonder if there would ever be a case where Superman would step in, like
I feel he would here because, like, again, there's a sane option and an option that's not as great as we could have, but it's still a sane option.
Yeah.
So, you know,
like
I feel like Superman would cast a vote here.
Superman would actively promote Lex Luthor over over Trump, I'm pretty sure. So
Lex Luthor's a successful businessman. Like,
yeah. He's conniving, he's evil, but he's good at what he does.
Exactly. So, you know.
Not a dumb man.
Anyway,
yeah.
Before we go into political tangent, I'm just saying there's better ways to go about a political and still keep it fun. And I feel they did that, 8 years ago. Here, just kind of felt whipped together, and we're going to slap a $5 price tag on it and put Catwoman's name on it because Catwoman will sell. I mean, and that's what got me, is it was Catwoman, and I felt like, oh, it's a one-shot. We've been reading one-shots, so why not? But, yeah.
Yeah.